Menteri Rangba ke Jela Meghalaya ulero ek result jong ke secondary school leaving certificate nega matric jong ke MBOSE ke bamatang Snem. Baru ulong bagadai ke wen ki mau jam ke bakongsan na ke jingya lenti jong ke puli puthi baru ulong bag sarkar ke yang scam ke banwan ra ke jingkala ke banya jengai bat ke bandan jingmut ke yang ke puli puthi kam tam ha ki than nong kendong. Ulong bag jingplet jingmut jong ke sarkar ke long bachim ki ha ke jing na du ki kedan ki bahat try jong ke jinglit school. Jing tuklar ki kenthop ek jing ai hikai ki no hikai bag jing ai jing kershan kerpang ki district ki balamat ki jing tenjo. Halor ki jing sha Iaroh bag jing sha kentho ka CM Impact Guidebook u Conrad kongkal Sangma uleda de kbong ba kila persang bat kemi bnia igi benta na ki competitive exam kum ka civil service ka IIT ka IIM ka NEET bat ki GMAT. Ka jingmut kalong menerap ki kena apure bakin sungtho ikiru kombo ik jingkeli bat bakin danru ya ki jinget ke baskam halade bat ke ek bami na result SSLC kare ke ke bos ngau jan haladi shimet ula pensyairu bagi guidebook kilong tang ke berap ak jing penkrea bat kamde satya kalenti ke belengkot na ka shortcut ban poi shakathong ba kadai tang ka kot ka ba amla eki ban penlong kum ki IAS officer daki hak ban trishtom ba wat bat ki kot ru ke jing pule kalong ka bakongsan rengkat bat ka jing trishtom ula benrap shu
regarding the complications that the education department faces. So education is a very, very complicated subject, not in terms of only the education in terms of the different educational aspects, but the different categorizations and the numbers that we have. So it's a very complicated situation, and hence we need to untangle, as I said, the knots, but we to do it in a manner that it doesn't disrupt the system too much also. So it's very complicated, but we are moving on it. Like I'll just give you a small example. You see, we have a lot of challenges in terms of the PGI, the index, performance grade index. And one of the reasons why we're not able to move very positively in that direction is that in the same campus, in the same building, we have 4 schools. So what happens is that you have the SSALP school, then you have the XYZ SSA school, then you have the XYZ ad hoc school, ad hoc upper primary, then you have the government LP school XYZ. So you have 4 schools. They're all the 4 different categories, but they're the same school, technically speaking. But just because we have an SSA category, we have a government LP school category, we have a thing. So for LP, they are SSA. For upper primary, they become ad hoc. Then for secondary, they become deficit. Then for higher secondary, they become government. So this kind of 4-5 classifications then brings down the overall ranking and the facilities, because that same facility is divided among 4 schools. So in the terms of our classification, it's actually 4 schools, but for all practical purposes, it's just 1 school called XYZ. But because the categories, so these kind of things then brings down the facilities that are there, which are then divided among the schools, which then brings down the average and reflects badly on the PGI index. Now, can we bring them all together in one? Is again a big question, because one happens to be SSA, the other category is ad hoc, the government school. So I'm just sharing with you one of the problems. So these are very complex problems, which leads to a lot of results, which then bring down our rankings. But slowly and steadily, we are working on it. So I've always maintained this, that for us to be able to take the right steps forward to resolve a problem starts with the correct diagnosis of the problem. So we cannot just jump into a solution without knowing what the problem is. And that's why actually we went into this entire CM impact mode and have the book lists, because we realized that a lot of the students are understanding the concept to some extent, but somehow they're not able to get the question and answer format in their minds. And that's why we came up with CM Impact, to allow that structuring to take place. And we're happy that we were able to guide the students. And as I said, this is not something that just we do. Every exam, everywhere you go, there is a question and answer format for all top exams, whether civil service, as I said, for IIT, IIM, all of them have the same format. And we use that, and we're happy that the students have been guided well with it, and we've seen the results. And as I said, we hope that we'll continue the reforms in the future also. If you remember, when I launched these CM Impact books, I had very clearly mentioned in my remarks that all exams that are there, whether it's premier exams like the civil service exams, IITs, entrance exams, IM entrance exams, or even GMAT exams, there is a process in which every exam is cracked, and students study for it. So therefore, and question papers are something that are given in all exams. If you see in all formats, whether IIT entrance exam, as I said, IIM, NEET exams, in all of them there are question formats. And therefore, we took a page from there and we decided that we should give a question format to the students so that it allows them to structure the actual question and be able to figure out the answers and be able to really relate to the question. So that is really what the purpose of this was, and we're very happy. I'll tell you, I'm one of the happiest persons. When this happened, I was telling some of my friends, I was telling my wife that among all the results in terms of the overall response and the outcomes that I have seen in the last 7 to 8 years, this may be one of the most satisfying and happy moments for me in terms of seeing the kind of results that have come. And the reason I say this is because you have to imagine that a child in class 10 who's just starting his or her life has to fail an exam in class 10, and that could be maybe the beginning of the end of the dreams that he or she may have had. And it really used to bother me to see that our children are not able to clear the metric exam and we were not able to help them. So, to answer your question, yes, people will say things. I have no comments on what people want to say negatively. But I look at it from that child's perspective. And I'm happy to see that we've been able to make a difference in those child's life, in their future, where they'll be at least able to follow their dreams. Things will always be tough. Things will always be competitive. This booklet is not going to make them the IAS officers immediately as they wanted to be. They have to work hard for it. But at least they'll be able to move forward at a certain level and have the necessary qualifications. Coming to the aspect of issues of understanding the subject, understanding the content versus answering the questions, these aspects will always be there. At the end of the day, we have to realize that no matter what booklets we provide, no matter what questions we give, it is ultimately the students who have to work hard. So I don't in any way give or take any credit. And that's the reason why, if you've noticed, I have not made any statements when it came to this. Because at the end, I believe that it is the hard work of the students. I give credit to the students. They have worked hard, they have spent time. Even if the booklets are there, it does not mean you'll automatically learn everything just by seeing the book. You have to study. We only allowed the system to be structured in a manner that would make it easier for them to study. And there's nothing wrong in that. Because at the end of the day, the student will have to study those questions. They will have to work hard. But as I said, we structured it better for them. They worked hard. They studied hard. I must congratulate all the students who have passed. And I encourage those also who didn't make it, that this is not the end. You continue to work hard. You will be successful in the exams. And I wish all the students the very best.